I feel like it's appropriate to end it all with one statement.
War. War never changes.
Hi again!
This is Fallout. Overworld Blues is a DLC to an already amazing game, Fallout New Vegas. So we go to this movie theater that was in a beginning area of the game that we just somehow missed. I didn't have the DLCs installed, so that's probably how we missed it. And we wait until midnight where they show this amazing movie. It's amazing. Just look at it. I would watch it. Heck, I'll watch it 3 times. And while we go, we end up losing Rex. Wait, why are you returning a free shot? Fuck, I'm gonna lose that guy. And some of the perks that came with Rex. We end up in this watchtower. I will let this video play out so you can understand.
In the years before the Great War, Big Mountain had been the home to the brightest minds of the 21st century. Scientists of vision were drawn to the facility to tackle the greatest technological challenges of the era. They sought to create a new world, fueled by technology for the benefit of all mankind. Sonic emitters, space-age alloys, DNA hybridization, force field particle research, autodoc advances in cranial, cardiac, and trauma surgery. The hopes and dreams of a century became realities in the electronic forges of Big Mountain. The nucleus of this research was the Dome. A huge stone facility that held the labs of every science known to man. It was a think tank where no problem could not be solved, where no question could not be answered. The Great War brought a new energy to Big Mountain and its scientists. Although sheltered from the front lines, the scientists waged their own war, fighting their battles at the atomic level. Equations and calculations marched endlessly across chalkboards and computer terminals toward one solution: winning the war. For years, the minds and computers of Big Mountain were a blaze of trajectories, weapon schematics, and nuclear theories. The problems began to outpace the solutions, first geometrically, then exponentially. As the war escalated, so did the questions. On the night of October 23rd, 2077, the scientists received an answer that put all their questions to rest. In the aftermath, Big Mountain's silent experiments went to sleep, their creators slowly dying in the new world that had been left behind. And the great stone in the middle of the Big Empty lay untouched, filled with countless technological wonders. Wonders that, in the end, had been answers to the wrong question.
And then we walk into the weirdest room that I've ever seen with, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brain bots. And then they call me the lobotomite. The audacity of them. I mean, they're right. They took out my brain, my spine, my heart. And then I didn't even know why they were calling me lobotomite, even while they were telling me this.
Perhaps as we were ruthlessly lobotomizing it with our cutters, we filled this skin below with awareness. A teddy bear with new stuffing.
Wait. If what you're theorizing is this lobotomite understands us, can reason with us.
Dr. Klein, a transmission from the Forbidden Zone, coming right at us.
If it isn't my old colleagues, the mighty think tank of Big Mountain.
What the fuck is going on? I what the fuck is going on? This is a fever dream. This is what I see when I'm fucking high as shit.
It is I, Dr. Mobius, transmitting from...
Dr. Mobius from the Forbidden Zone? Oh, I don't know. Maybe like Dr. Mobius from the Forbidden Planet? You know, the movie The Forbidden Planet? This is why you made me watch this incredibly boring fucking movie, The Forbidden Planet, is to get this one reference? Okay, so I actually rewatched this movie as the 9/21 2024. It's actually a really good movie. I don't know what the fuck I'm yapping about. The movie is really good. I must have been really grumpy when I first watched it. Other than that, it is a really good movie. I actually suggest to watch it.
But what of its brain? We scooped that out. We don't even know where we left it. And for putting it back in, none of us have the knowledge.
We removed your brain. Yes. So soft, barely wrinkled, yet
Stop insulting my intelligence. I made this character...
so
What?
flush with knowledge and experience. Brain extraction technology has been standard practice at Big Mountain for an immeasurable amount of time.
Once the brain was out, then came the coils. The Tesla coils. The coils of Nikola Tesla.
Wait, what? Wait, brainless perk. Your brain has been replaced with an advanced technology. Your head can no longer be crippled. Hey, that's a plus in my opinion. And is resistance to chem damage, addiction, and shocks from your body. Cool.
First was the heart.
What the fuck? Heartless perk? What did they do to me? The scars on your chest seems to be confirmed what the think tank is saying. You cannot be poisoned. That's a good thing. You cannot be poisoned and filtered in your artificial blood pump or pump will regulate bleeding and healing, allowing all healing items chems to function higher. Great. Robots are now confused by you and 50% likely to score critical hit.
Wait, I mean, second was the heart. Brain was first. Third was the spine.
Spineless? What do they do to me? These... Due to... Fuck. Your spine has been removed as well. Your torso can no longer be... That's a plus. And your strength and damage threshold, DT, has been increased by 1.
Spine. Totally overrated, that arrangement of vertebrae. Look at me, with my lumbar and thoracic curvature. Never had a use for any of that. Spineless is what I prefer.
I literally have no idea how to respond to any of this. You You extracted my brain. What do you mean by misplaced it? That's a really good question. First, you scoop up my brain. Now, you want me to save you. Oh, what's next?
That is correct.
Wait, they're calling me a lobotomite because they gave me a lobotomy. Fuck you guys. I don't know why that just registered to me. But like, what the fuck? Maybe I am the lobotomite. Then they tell me about more. They tell me about more Dr. Morbius. Get out of my head. They tell me about Mobius and the Forbidden Zone and how he did something. I wasn't really paying attention, but they just don't like the guy. So what do? They tell me to get this, use this ray gun, upgrade it so I can break the force fields, and then go to him and destroy his machines. So what do I do? Go on a fetch quest for the sink. It was really weird. Interesting. Not in a bad way, just interesting. Did my game crash? Um, So tired. Wait, what? What the fuck? Dog meat, you came back. God damn, there's a lot of fucking things here that wants me dead. Oops, wrong gun. Oh. What the fuck? Did you just fall from— Oh my god! Get me out of here! Everything here wants me dead. Holy fuck. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. Was that it? Yep, I'm leaving. Get me the fuck out of here. Dang, I really thought I was gonna one shot. That's kind of what I expected. You guys have stem packs, right? My weapon? Wait. Oh, fuck me. Oh, wait. Thank you. What does this thing use? Energy cells. Fuck me.
On your return to your domicile, sir. I trust you shall find things in order and the riff-raff contained.
Just keeps crashing. I'm not gonna live if I fall through that. I tried to jump. I don't think I got that jump in. Well, time to do that walk again. And it crashed again! Must I reset my Xbox? So I just keep doing the fetch quest, which is collecting these tapes for the room Le Sink. And while I'm collecting the tapes, I ran into what I thought was Trinity Lane, I think it's called, from Fallout 3. This is my reaction here. Wait. This looks familiar. Wait. No fucking way! Hold on. No! Is this the... Hold on. No. Oh my god, what the fuck? How adorable. If only I knew that they just reused some assets from the game that the engine this engine is based off. Well, it is you know. So I collect all the tapes and then we move onward to the rest of the game.
Oh, God, look at you. You're filthy. I suppose you'll want to clean up then?
Why is this thing talking to me?
You can have as much as you like. Just, please don't put your lips on the faucet. It's so unsanitary. You've been working with that You can... Between you and me, I think the central...
I will talk to the sink later. That's... Sink talks, okay. I'm just going to not think about that. Sync talks.
That was a nice little cat nap. How long was I out?
Who's your voice actor? Whoa, a light switch that turns me on? I really must be dreaming, dude. That's literally my thoughts.
Oh, you. I bet you say that to all the light switches.
Only the sexy ones. Never, it's all yours, baby.
Now, don't you go getting a girl's hopes up if you don't mean it. Oh, who am I kidding? I'll believe you anyways. Why don't you take this to remember me by? Oh my. Partial functionality restored. That's less than optimal.
I can flirt with both of them. After dealing with the very flirty light switches, I did get both of their numbers, by the way. You know I ain't playing around. We ended up going to the X18, no? X whatever. We went to somewhere to get the stealth suits that were made by the Chinese originally, then created by the Americans via reverse engineering, and I'm assuming a shit ton of stealth boys. I also got ambushed by a Nightkin. I don't know if he spawns here, but I got ambushed by him and then never again. So it was a little weird. Then I proceeded to do the stealth mission, in which I do the most hardest pose with the mysterious man afterwards. And then I went to upgrade the gun that the brain bots gave me, in order to destroy the what are they called? The blue force fields, to get the antennae from X2, I think it's called. And we are at endgame at this point. So then I go to the Forbidden Zone for absolutely no reason, because I still don't understand why I'm actually being sent over there, in which I nuke the giant scorpion and came to an epiphany. I have forgotten to upgrade my ray gun, so I ran to eventually go get my ray gun upgraded, and I run back to Mobius, and it turns out he's just pumped up on Psycho, and he doesn't really know what's going on. So I thought it would be hilarious if I just let him live. Take some drugs. Give me a Mentat a day. Go kick a soccer ball or something. I don't care. I had a long conversation with my brain, which for some reason sounds like a dude. It took me so long to convince my literal brain to get back into my head, but it's worth it. I get the big brain perk at the end of the game, so I endure and try to convince my, again, literal brain to get back in my head. Then I head back to the brain bots of the think tank, and I come to an epiphany there as well. They need to die. And it was at this point where I beat the game. That was it. That was the end of Old World Blues, and it's where I also learned what the meaning of Old World Blues truly meant. I don't know what I thought it meant when I first played the game, but after playing it, I understand that it's a longing for a time that no longer exists. It's for the old world, and when you get sick, you get blue. So, Old World Blues, sickness of the old world. Which makes sense when you're looking back at it. Like all the technology that we see, all the references to old sci-fi movies. It's just a beautiful DLC. It's a love letter to sci-fi films, particularly older sci-fi films. And I heavily recommend whoever plays Fallout New Vegas, if you haven't played New World Blues or Old World Blues, you need to play it. It's gorgeous. And enjoy the ending. If you like my content, please leave a like, subscribe, comment if you're new. I would like to know what brought you here.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the most powerful minds of the 23rd century. The courier who had been brought to the Big Empty became its new overlord, using its facilities ruthlessly and decisively when needed. Sometimes, science is more than a quest for discovery. It is a weapon to be used in the service of one with the strength to understand it.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. It learned several new murderous techniques from the courier and built a blood shrine to itself in the cuckoo's nest. The cave floor was soon filled with the horror of 100 gutted toasters, a silent, grisly, unplugged audience. Their purpose? To toast bread, unfulfilled.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
The Big Empty lived up to its name, a hollow crater of failures of a past era, a last sad statement of the old world.
In the time following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, Old World Blues became more than a catchphrase.
It became a reality, a withering form of nostalgia for times long past.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, it was all this and more. Old world blues, new world misery. The two became one in the courier's shadow.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.